You are live on YouTube.
Said about PD on the speedometer on this meeting.
Calling Finance Committee, March 31st, 2022 to order at 12:27 p.m. Oof. We'll begin with roll. I'll ask the clerk to call roll.
Mr. Leggett,
Here.
Mr. Thomas,
Here.
Mr. Bruno,
Here.
Mr. Molino,
Here.
Ms. Runyon, Mr. Diamond,
Here.
Mr. Driscoll.
Here.
Quorum is established.
Thank you. Motion to approve minutes of prior committee meeting, subject to clerk's correction, Supervisor Diamond and Supervisor Driscoll on a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Action items. First is request for transfer of funds as attached for committee approval. Motion to bring it to the floor. Supervisor Bruno, thank you. In a second. Supervisor Thomas, discussion. Hearing none, call the question. All those in favor for action item number 1, say aye.
Aye.
And opposed? Seeing none, motion carries. Action item number 2, request items to be discussed by the county administrator.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. 2A is the typical journal report. Any questions on any of those transfers?
See none.
Okay. 2B and 2C both flow from Resolution 158 of 2022, which was approved at the March board meeting. This was a resolution that was advanced by the ARPA committee, and the ARPA committee committed funds to various activities. And this is a budget amendment that goes along with 2 of those. We already did budget amendments for 2 others. We have 1 budget amendment that'll be on hold. That's for the technology upgrades. We're putting the fine points on that. And my preference with these budget amendments is when we can, we should always run them through finance. But if it's something that is urgent that comes out of the ARPA committee and we have to advance it directly to the board, we would do that. So again, 2 out of those already went to the board. These are 2 of the others, $30,000 towards the employment and training program with Crandall Library, and $100,057 to go to the airport overages.
What's the committee's pleasure? Do both together or separately?
Together.
Okay, moved by Supervisor Thomas, second by Supervisor Bruno. Any further discussion on these 2 items we are considering as one? Hearing none, call the question. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And opposed? None. Motion carries.
Thank you, committee.
Okay, we're on to item number 3, request items to be discussed by the county treasurer.
Good afternoon, everybody. Item A is we received an overpayment from the city of Glens Falls for a pilot agreement where they collect the money and then they give us our portion of the taxes or our portion of the pilot agreement. And I need a resolution to refund $1,182.58 back to the city.
Motion to bring it to the floor. Supervisor Bruno, second by Supervisor Diamond. Discussion. Hearing seen none. Call the question. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None. Motion carries.
All right, item B is a request to authorize chargebacks and taxes for several pilots within the city of Glens Falls, totaling $15,813.45. This is just a housekeeping thing. We've already done the money. It has to do with the pilot payments and how they're credited back to the city.
Okay. Okay, by Supervisor Bruno, second by, have Driscoll on the second there. Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And opposed? None. Motion carries. C.
All right, C, part of the universal tobacco settlement that happened in 2003 to 2005, there's a trustee established, and that trustee pays X number of dollars out of that settlement annually to all the municipalities in the state of New York that are involved. Our annual payment is between $370,000 and $390,000, except for in 2019 or 2020 when it went up to over 400,000. I think during the COVID, everybody was smoking more, but there is also an administrative amount of money that is given to the Tobacco Corporation to do the administration and pay the bills of the corporation. There has always been excess funds in that administrative fee or account. And back when Treasurer O'Keefe was here, he started the practice of gifting part of that money to the county, just to help with the budget process. So annually, we give out of that tobacco company administrative fee, we give $30,000 to the county. The auditor for the Tobacco Corporation said that we probably really should have a resolution passed by the county board to accept that money as a gift, just to clean it up, to make it look a little more legal.
Thank you. And for further clarification, it's a gift from the Tobacco Corporation
Yes.
to the county
To the county,
and specifically to your,
to the general fund. Yes.
Okay. and that's to take care of administrative costs that
Correct.
come with. Okay, so everybody clear on that one? All right, let's motion to bring it to the floor. Supervisor Thomas, Supervisor Bruno. Further discussions? Seeing and hearing none, I call the question. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And opposed? Motion carries. On to D.
All right, I have an employee that is on track to get her degree in accounting, and we had budgeted monies to reimburse her at 50% of her costs for courses. Now that the policy has changed to 100%, I need an additional $1,035.32 to cover the cost of those courses.
Motion to bring to the floor. Supervisor Molino, Supervisor Diamond on the second discussion. And contingent is the
Yeah.
best source you feel for this? You don't have any in your pay?
No,
there?
no,
Okay.
we're pretty lean.
For the committee's information here, contingent account balance, and this is not the salary one, this is the regular contingent
Yep.
account, $244,648.67. We good with this? So we have a first and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And opposed? None. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. And any other comments this time? You might as well, since you're. Okay, thank you, Treasurer Swan. Number 4, referral from County Facilities Committee, chaired by Supervisor Bruno. This is Buildings and Grounds. Request to amend the county budget in the amount of $1,172 to reflect the receipt of an insurance recovery payment. Moved by Supervisor Bruno and the second by Supervisor Thomas. Any discussion? I'll call the question. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And opposed? None. Motion carries on 4. Number 5, referrals from Criminal Justice and Public Safety Committee, chaired by Supervisor Gerasi. The first one is Office of Emergency Services. It's a request to increase capital project H254 Fire Training Center in the amount of $555.79. That reflects a 50% reimbursement payments from Washington County for expenses paid in full by Warren County. We share that facility. They reimburse us. Motion to bring it to the floor. Supervisor Diamond. Supervisor Bruno on a second. Thank you. Any discussion? Hearing none, call the question. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None. Motion carries. 5B is from the sheriff. Request to amend the Warren County budget in the amount of $474,832 to reflect the receipt of a New York State Division of Homeland Security and Emergency Services statewide interoperable communications grant funding. Supervisor Driscoll and Supervisor Molino on a second. Any discussion? Yes, Supervisor Bruno.
So this is the amount of this grant, just so I'm.
Yes, somebody clarify it, but that's the amount that would be coming into the coffers
Okay, thank you.
and for their use. Okay. I'll call the question. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And opposed? None. Motion carries. On to item 6, referral from Economic Growth Development, chaired by Supervisor Wild. The 6A is a request for appropriations of $35,000 from the general fund unappropriated surplus account to the Planning and Community Development budget to return the local match funds for the recreation study, which were appropriated in 2021, but fell back to the general fund when they were not expended before the end of the year. So Supervisor Molino, thank you. Second, Supervisor Thomas. Any questions, any discussion?
So again,
Yes.
just for my clarification, this is like a reappropriation. These funds were appropriated before, went back, and now we're pulling them out again.
That is true.
Very good. Thank you.
Yes. Yeah, thank you for that question. Okay, I'll call the question. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And opposed? None. Motion carries. 6B, request to establish capital project H407 Warren County Outdoor Recreation Economy Strategic Plan in the amount of $100,000. Motion to bring it to the floor. Supervisor Thomas, second by Supervisor Bruno. Discussion. Director of Planning, anything you want to mention at this point? We're good? Okay. Any questions? I'll call the question. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And opposed? None. Motion carries. 6C, request to increase capital project number H347, invasive species boat washing in the amount of $256.81. So, and you know what? Maybe we can combine this with D as well, which is request to close capital project H347, invasive species boat washing, with no funds remaining in this project. So
I'll move C and D.
thank you. C and D are moved by Supervisor Thomas, second by Supervisor Diamond. Any discussion? Seeing, hearing none, I will call the question. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And opposed? Hearing none, questions are moved. E, request to close capital project H292 First Wilderness. No funds remaining in this project. Bring it to the floor. Supervisor Thomas, thank you. Second, Supervisor Bruno. Any discussion? Any questions? Okay. And First Wilderness still lives. So it's just closing the capital project. Okay.
One of many.
Okay, thank you. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And those opposed? Motion carries. 6F, request to increase capital project number H406 Countryside 2021 capital improvements in the amount of $950,000. Bring it to the floor. Thank you, Supervisor Thomas, and seconded by Supervisor Driscoll. Yes, Director Lamoth, if you'd like to speak to this.
Just to clarify, it is increasing it by 950,000 from the ARPA funds and $1,352,038 from the general fund. It's not just a $950,000 increase.
This is
It's coming from the transfer.
right. So as it's written in the resolution before us, yes, under F, source of funding, it's transfer capital projects, interfund transfers, 1,352,038, and from the deferred revenue code A691, deferred revenue is 950. So that's the way the resolution reads. Everybody good with that? Okay. Call the question. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. That's it for number 6, correct? On to number 7, referral from Human Services Committee chaired by Supervisor Driscoll. First one is from the Department of Social Services with a request to amend the county budget in the amount of $126,379 to reflect the receipt of a New York State Office of Temporary and Disability Assistance 2022 funding for rental assistance to qualified individuals. Bring it to the floor. Supervisor Molino, Supervisor Bruno, thank you. Discussion? Hearing none, call the question. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. That was number 7. On to number 8. This is Finance Committee action following the personnel agenda. So let's see what we have here for us. Can we start with 3C? Okay. 3C, a request to be discussed by the personnel officers. And C is the request to amend the table of organization and salary schedule to decrease the salary of civil service assistant position from the current amount of $43,045 to the entry level salary of $39,973 effective April 18, 2022. Motion to bring it to the floor. Supervisor Diamond, thank you. And Supervisor Bruno on a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, call the question. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None. 3C carries. 4, referrals from Criminal Justice Public Safety Committee, chaired by Supervisor Gerasi. 4A, request to amend the table of organization and salary schedule to decrease the salary of the public defender position from the current amount of $136,274 to the entry level salary of $114,96 effective May 9, 2022. Motion to bring that to the floor. Supervisor Driscoll with Supervisor Bruno on a second. Discussion. Hearing none, call the question. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries for 4A. 4B, request to amend the table of organization and salary schedule to decrease the salary of the coordinating assistant public defender part-time position from the current amount of $34,670 to the entry-level salary of $34,280 effective May 1, 2022. Bring it to the floor. Supervisor Bruno and Supervisor Thomas, thank you. Discussion. Hearing none, call the question. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And all those opposed? Motion carries for 4B. On to 4C from the sheriff, request to amend the table of organization and salary schedule to create and fill the new position of per diem cook part-time at $18.07 an hour effective April 15, 2022. Motion to bring it to the floor. Supervisor Molino with Supervisor Driscoll on a second. Thank you. Discussion. Supervisor Bruno.
So relating back to our previous discussions in the other committee, we have a description here of this
Cook part-time.
part-time. Do we just anywhere?
Can I turn that over to the county administrator?
Yes, we'll have a job description of cook. So it's a similar situation as the principal account clerk.
Thank you.
I'll call the question. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And opposed? None. Motion for 4C carries. Number 5 was not approved, so we will skip. Number 6, referral from Tourism Committee chaired by Supervisor Molino. This was a request to amend the table of organization and salary schedule to create and fill the new temporary position of principal account clerk per diem with an hourly rate of $24, 76.85 cents. Position to be effective April 4th, 2022 through December 31st, 2022. And to defund, is it a defund?
Delete.
And it will be a delete the full-time principal account clerk position effective April 4th, 2022. Okay, motion to bring Supervisor Molino to the floor. Thank you. In a second. Supervisor Driscoll in a second. Thank you. Any discussion? Supervisor Diamond.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We're actually doing two different actions in this resolution today. Is it necessary to have separate resolutions? That's a question for the council. We're actually creating a part-time job and at the same time, in the same resolution, we're deleting a full-time position. Is it necessary to have independent resolutions for
Thank you.
that?
Mr. Attorney?
I don't have any legal opinion on that. That would be at the discretion of the committee and at the board. At the board, should any member seek to break those two apart, they have that right to request that under the rules.
Okay. I'd like to make a resolution, put a resolution for it, that we create two separate resolutions. One, which would include deleting the full-time position from the table of organization. And two, the other resolution would be creating this part-time position.
Thank you, Supervisor. Oh, we do have a motion on the floor, so the motion on the floor would need to be amended to be able to incorporate either or both of those aspects. So,
I'll keep that's good.
okay, so let's, and a second on that. You fine with that? So then, this is, just to be clear, what the motion would be the first part of this, to amend the table of organization to fill the new temporary position with
The
those
motion-
dates.
The motion that we put forward is to hire, create the part-time position. It's one resolution. The second resolution would be to delete within the tourism department, the full-time principal account clerk's position from the table of organization.
Okay. So are we clear on that? So then after this, we would need a separate motion for deleting the full-time principal account clerk. And is this all proper procedure?
We can do it that way. This is going to the meeting right after this, so we'll just need time to write that resolution differently.
Okay. Were you able to hear the clerk there? It's that the resolution, we would need time to rewrite that before the board meeting immediately following this. We good?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I'll call the question for the, to create and fill the position per diem hourly rate 24.76 to be effective April 4th through December 31st. Clear? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Now, the second motion, Supervisor Diamond, would you like to bring this to the floor to delete the full-time principal account clerk position effective April 4th, 2022?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would.
Okay, thank you. And is there a second? With Supervisor Bruno on the second. Good. We are clear on this part of the resolution. I'll call the question. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And opposed? Opposed. One opposed. Thank you. Motion carries. Pending items, no items this month. Privilege of the floor. Any privilege of the floor to supervisors not on the committee? Seeing none, we'll go to privilege of the floor of the public. Mr. Lehman?
Hi, Chairman Leggett. Nothing on YouTube.
Okay, thank you. And I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Supervisor Bruno, with Supervisor Diamond on the second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Meeting